is Don Martin, and I am going to share with you what I typically do for cardio here on my Faith Fit portion of my YouTube channel. But before I go into this, which is going to be basic karate techniques, is please first always check with your medical doctor, your regular physician, before launching into any exercise program, any type of weight training, or any type of change in your diet. So let this serve as a disclaimer to please check with your regular physician first. So without further ado, let's get started. Start with punching techniques, the chest punch and the head punch, and then we're going to move into blocking techniques, head block, chest block, two variations of it, and then the leg block. Now I'm going to go with basic, so the very basic. There is advanced ways of doing this, but it is always wise to start with the basics and advance up. Remember, in karate, in the martial arts, you really only truly begin learning and applying the martial arts when you arrive at black belt, okay? Everything else is just conditioning up to that, removing bad habits, and making good habits. So let's first start with the stance. In karate, we call this Zenkutsu Dachi. Now, I'm not going to speak Japanese. I'm going to speak English here for the different stances. So this is better known as the front stance, okay? It is typically 1 shoulder width wide to 1.5 to 2 shoulder widths in length. Make sure initially your hips are squared. Your knee is bent to where you cannot see your front toe. Try to stay in this. Don't raise up, okay? So try to stay in this Zenkutsu Dachi. So we're going to go with the chest punch. I'm going to do it both ways. I'm going to look at you at the camera with the chest punch, and then I'm going to go to the side. I'm going to roll up my sleeves here so you can see the positioning of my hands, okay? So in a chest punch, you're always going to punch with these 2 knuckles. The reason is you have that strength within the tendons and cartilage extending up here through your arm versus these two. These two, if you notice, if you move them, they'll move easily. These don't budge. Plus, you can condition your wrists and your forearms to make a more powerful punch. Now, when you're punching, make a fist. When you're making this fist, this thumb is bent back, not forward, not hanging out here, not this way. You're going to end up breaking it if you're not careful. Take it, bind it, make a very tight fist, thumb underneath, and you're hitting with these 2 knuckles, and you're aiming at your chest. Remember, your chest. So sometimes it's at a slight angle down, but you're aiming at your chest. And we're going to do this slow initially, okay? So you got the other fist with the palms up, and we're going to go slow. And this is how you should start out training with basic techniques. Go slow. Because form, mindfulness, concentration, and balance is much more important than speed. Speed and additional power will come later. So let's punch. We're going to punch, 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 and then slightly as they cross here, you're going to start turning your fists and then driving the punch. Again, slow, 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 so drive. That little twist is going to give you some extra power there in that punch, okay? So again, go, 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 go. And at the moment, just before, as you're crossing of impact, both fists turn and drive the punch. So I'm going to speed this up. Do 3 punches. I'm going to turn to the other side so you can see it. Let's do it. All right? Let's just go half speed this time. Boom, boom, boom. I want you to add breathing out into this, okay? Wait, in our style of karate, we usually make kind of a hissing or swish sound. So you can pick up the speed. Once you get the strength, or once you get, the technique, and you're moving slow, and you're doing it correctly, you can increase the speed until you've got a good handle of this punch, and you go full speed. Okay, then you can add the speed. So let me turn this way so you can see it at this angle. I'm going to take my right leg back, left leg forward. Again, slow, slow. Hopefully you can see this all right. Don't think I'm going off the camera. Boom. Boom. Then you can speed up the punches. Make sure these two knuckles are hit. Okay? So that is it for the chest punch. You can do the same way for a head punch. It's your head, right? Right at your nose, your head. Boom. Boom. Right to the head. Right? And then once you get the technique, the pivot, the drive down, then you can add speed to it. And that is it for the chest and the head punch. Next, we'll go on to blocks. Okay, now we'll do blocking techniques. In blocking techniques, or in my style of karate that I've trained, actually I've trained several styles. And these styles are more traditional. 3 different styles I've trained in. But in training in these styles, in traditional Japanese martial arts, even if you compete, you do not get a point or a score unless you thoroughly drive a technique, that it makes contact, that it lands. That's why typically in my styles of karate that I've trained in, we wear full gear, full kendo gear, and points aren't scored unless you drive home a punch. So it's like tap, graze, or a lot of elaborate fancy techniques. You may not get a score unless you make good contact. With that too, and we'll go back to front stance. Senkutsudachi is what it's called in Japanese. And then blocking techniques that we're going to do now, I've been trained to make them more like offensive techniques. Now that doesn't occur to more advanced you are. Typically your ladder colors, your black belt. But the techniques are almost offensive, meaning that they're become so powerful and exact that they can throw and deflect most techniques, okay? But we're only going to do this in the basic sense, all right? So basic sense, I'm not pivoting a lot, moving a lot. I'm not driving these other hands to do the techniques. I'll have another video for more of the advanced way of doing it later on, okay? So let's just start with the traditional head block, okay? Remember, make good fists, thumbs back, powerful fists, okay? Starting out, we start out in what's called a leg block, okay? So starting out in the stance, a leg block. I'll go in more detail on that here in a minute. Let's go with the head block, okay? So head block comes out here, comes up, round the face, up above the head, and then again, like the punch, you pivot, okay? So it's slightly above your head, but you're blocking with this part of your arm. And that pivot occurs almost halfway through. And you're getting that block in. So slow, 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 boom. Let's do it slow, slow, slow. Keep this other arm back. In advanced techniques, I'll show you, in advanced blocks, I'll show you what this arm does later on. But for basics, we're going to start back here. Go, 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 go. Cross the face. Take your fingers. Should be at least this width. Almost like 2.5 fists from your head, slightly above. Because remember, you're deflecting the punch. So the idea is to deflect it away. And you're opening your opponent up. Okay? So up, up, boom. And then you can add speed to it. Okay? Add the breathing techniques. Right? Okay, I'm going to stand this way. So you can see it from this angle. Good stance. 1 shoulder width wide, 1.5 to 2 shoulder widths in length. You should not be able to see your front toes. So the knees pointed out. Should not see the front toe. Start here. Up, up, block. Okay, I'm going to roll up my sleeve so you can see a little bit better what my arms are doing. So up, 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 block. Come across, block. Up, 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 block. You pivot there right in front of the face because you're deflecting. Almost like an offensive technique. You're deflecting that punch. Okay? That's the head block. Let's go to the leg block. Okay, get in stance, leg block. Get this other foot or hand back. Good fist. Good fist. Come up to the ear and come across. Up, almost to the back of the ear, and then a moment of sweeping across the stomach, groin area, leg, come, block. So the idea is you're deflecting a punch, sometimes a kick, and you're going beyond about a fist beyond that knee. So up, down, up, down. It's good to exaggerate these techniques because you want them to become second nature. And then you can add speed once you get these down. Up, up. Do it from this side. Up behind the ear, cross, cross. Deflect. Okay, that was leg block, which typically blocks from the stomach, groin, and the leg area here. Now let's go with the chest blocks, okay? So there's two types of chest blocks. There's the inside chest block, and then there's the outside chest block. In most basics, you're just going to focus on the outside. I'm going to do both for you here real quickly. So since the outside is the more basic, I'm going to start with it. So outside, you're coming, your palm of your hand is out, high above. See how my arm's positioned here? Come around, and as you're coming to the chest area is when you have that twist, that spin, okay? It's going to deflect these techniques to your chest, right? So punches to your chest. So up, and then down, 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 pivot, that moment of impact, twist, across. Fist across about a fist distance or level with your shoulder. If you can see that from the camera, down. Then you just want to add speed to it. Again, this arm, this hand is back. We'll show you more advanced techniques what you do with this arm. But I just want you to, we're trying just doing the basics here. Crossed, then add speed. Right? Okay? Inside chest block. A little differently. Coming in, and then you pivot this way. Okay? Can you see that? In like you're drawing a sword. Your arm is, your hand, your palm is face down, and then pivot. Okay? Same way. Pivot. Pivot. Down across and pivot. Pivot as the technique's coming in, you're going to deflect that technique. Again, deflect it. Okay? Then you can add speed. Let me try it from side so you can see it this way. You're drawing the sword. You're drawing the sword. Drawing the sword. Okay? Same way, let's do, so we did head, we did leg, inside, outside. Other techniques that are popular is shuto uki, so knife hand block. And we'll go through that in more advanced technique. Another striking technique that we didn't do with a head and chest punch is reverse head strike. So this is a strike coming across the nose, but we'll do that more in advance. So let's just go through this real quick. Go through the punches, okay? Chest punch, right? Head punch. Let's do our blocks. Leg, right? I'm sorry, advanced techniques. Basic techniques, just leave this hand up here, right? So leg, right? Okay, head, which we should have started that way. So head, right? Just go slow initially, and then you can add speed to it. So we did head, leg, outside chest block, okay? outside chest block, then inside, like you're drawing a sword, but you're coming out, okay? Like you're drawing a sword, and that technique, you're deflecting it. That punch, you're deflecting it, right? Okay? So we did chest punch, we did head punch, we did head block, we did leg block, we did inside chest block, and outside chest block. Next, in my next video, we'll move to some additional strikes, okay, blocks, and then we'll move into kicks. So front kick, side kick, roundhouse kick is what we're going to do in my next video. So stay tuned. It will be available following this video. So as I'm recording this, it probably won't be available till next week. But this is something you can do to stay fit. And this is what I do for cardio. So in closing, I'm going to recommend, obviously, you check with your physician before starting. You stretch. You do a good time of warm-ups, okay? Whether that's jumping in place, whether that's jumping jacks, burpees, jump rope, and then do some slow and soft and easy stretches. Don't stretch too hard. Just do some light stretches, and then do your basics, okay? Do at least 10 on each side, each leg. So 10 punches on with the left leg out and the right leg out. Each technique. So you're going to do that for chest punch, head punch, and then wrap each leg up with a double punch. Same way with blocks. Do a head block. The head block I showed you on 10 times at least on each leg. Same way with the leg block, inside chest block, and outside chest block. And then we'll add, and I typically add, obviously, kicking techniques for that. So your stretching should be about 15 minutes, warm-ups and stretching. And then your basic techniques are typically a half hour, okay? So a half hour. And then we move into kind of an open class, open type training, which I'll have typically my kids for that. So we'll apply some of these basic techniques to row blocks and punches and interaction, as well as practice kata. So typically my karate workouts are an hour and a half, but you can do all this within an hour, okay? Get your warm-ups in 15 minutes. You got 30 minutes of basics, and maybe do 15 minutes of kata or 15 minutes of sparring at the end. And then make sure you do a calm cool down, slight stretching, and then usually class is finished. So try this out, but first always check with your doctor and make it a great day, because you truly have a choice in making it a great day.